Hello everybody, welcome to the Brown Belt song. This song has some new things that make it pretty challenging, makes it worthy of the second to last belt, right before the black belt. So let's go ahead and dive right in and start talking about some of the new things that you'll see in this song. In reverse order, starting at the bottom of the page here, we have a new time signature. Now, if you remember back in the green belt, we talked a little bit about time signature. A little more in depth, and it was the strong beats or weak in a group called a measure that's meter. It's a lot of information in there. If you remember, all of our songs so far have been in 4/4 time, so 4 beats per measure, and the quarter note, 1/4, so 1/4 note gets the beat, and it takes 4 of them to make the whole note. Yeah. So remember, here was what the green belt sounded like with the strong and the weak beats. That's meters. So that's what makes our 4/4 time, because we've got it's strong, weak, weak, strong, weak. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm kind of exaggerating it, but every song has that kind of emphasis that emphasizes the beginning of each measure. So in It's Raining, and in all of our songs before this one, and even the next song, being in 4/4 time, we had 1 strong beat, strong, and then 3 weak beats. Weak, 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 strong, weak, weak, weak. So 1 strong beat, 3 weak beats, 4 beats per measure. This song has 1 strong beat and 2 weak beats, 3 beats per measure. So it's going to sound like strong, weak, weak, strong, weak, weak. And here's what this song sounds like with the strong and the weak beats kind of emphasized, showing you those things, and also doing some conducting. So you'll get to see what that looks like. When conductors are doing that, they give the strong beat by going down, and then there's some side, down, side. If it was 4, it would just add an extra side. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, down, side, side. But we're in 3, so down, side, up, down, side, down. And you'll see that 1. All right, here's Amazing Grace. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see. All right, so now that you've seen that, going on to something else new, the fermata. This is what the fermata looks like. It's actually really easy to learn. It just means to hold that note longer than it's written. Hold it as long as you want. So when we get to but now I see. You can hold it as long as you would like to, but at least those 2 beats. So make sure if there is a notated pitch under the fermata, you have to hold it as long as that note is notated at least, and then usually at least a little longer. And then next new thing is our dotted quarter note, and it is always followed by our single 8th note. So this gets a little bit tricky. So we've talked about our dotted half note and how that takes the number of beats the half note normally gets, 2, and adds half of that. So half of 2 is 1. So now we've got 3. So the quarter note getting 1 beat, add half of that. Half of 1 is a half. So now we've got 1.5 beats. All right, so if we look at what that would look like visually, so here would be 4 quarter notes, which is just ta, 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 ta. So each one of those gets its own beat, in this case a square, and 2 8th notes would fill that as well. So you could have you could also have T, 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 T. Or, like that we were saying, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Each one has a down and an up, we can divide each beat in half to kind of show that. So if here was our regular speed, ta, 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 this one's going twice as fast to show T, 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 or ta, 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 but this one's just counting each half of the beat. And this would be down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Now the dotted quarter note gets this whole beat, so both halves, plus this half. And then we've got another sound, which is going to be that single eighth note. So it's going to be on that up. So it's going to be T. That's where that one is T. And this one is on all three of these. So this is along ta, T. Or starting with this note, this would be ta, T. So that's, we're kind of taking the beat double time so that we can divide each one in half. Ta, T. Or you can think ta, T. And just, or this one dotted quarter note fills 1, 2, 3 halves.
Because the dotted quarter note is one beat plus half of its original value, so half of one is 1/2. Add those together, and you've got 1 and 1/2. Or 1/2 plus 1/2 plus 1/2. Half, half, half. It takes 3 halves to get 1 1/2. Because 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 3. 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 3. You don't change the denominator, numerator, denominator. Don't change the denominator when you're adding. So this equals 3 halves. Or same is 1 and 1/2.
So this is where music gets really math-filled. The other way to count this is with our number system that we've been working on, is like the 1 and 2 and 3 and. So these are those single eighth notes. So this was 4 beats long. These are 2 beats long. Each one of these are the single beats. And this is kind of like what we were looking at up on the board. These are each beat broken in half. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's 4 beats, but each one is broken in half. So we've got 8 little subsections there. The easiest way to get that dotted quarter and then that 4th eighth note, right? Because it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, because you've got 3 halves filled into the first sound. Ta, ta, or T. Ta, T, is to think that 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. So just think about that 2. So 1, 2 and 1, 2 and. If you have that kind of down to rebound off of, it's easier to get that and. 1 and 3 and 1, 3, 1 and 3 and 1. So just having that beat to bounce off of. So quick note about this lesson, this video. I understand that the dotted quarter note is not the easiest concept to learn. You know, as I'm editing this video together, I can see like it's still not the clearest. And I apologize, it's just not a very easy concept to teach over a video. So I have some other videos that you can watch that can also help. And then my other recommendation is just to listen to this song over and over. You know, my version of singing it or me playing it here at the end of this video, or as I'm counting it, just kind of get a lot of repetition of it. And you will get this. Don't be frustrated if you don't quite understand it. You can also watch some of the other videos in the links that can explain it another way, and maybe that'll help you understand as well. Any one of those methods, whichever one works best for you, go for it. And let's work through how that applies to the music. Let's count this rhythm with tas and TTs. So remember this single eighth note, the stem with the flag, or stem with the flag. That's what it looks like when the stem is up, stem is down. It's just a single T. All right, here we go. Ready? ta ta ti ti ta 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 ti ti ta 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 ti 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 ta 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 ti 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 ta 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 ti ti ta ta ta. All right, and then here's what it sounds like with numbers. We have another pickup right before the beat. Normally was beat 4, but we're in 3/4, so each measure only has 3 beats. So the last number before a bar line is beat 3, and this one has the first 2 beats. Third beat is missing. It's a pickup. So we're gonna start with 3 1 3 and 1, and here we go. I'm not gonna track it this time. I'm just going to snap and count it, and see if you can count it with me. It may take a few times, rewind, and do this a couple times. Ready? Go. 3 1 3 and 1 3 1 3 1 3 1 3 and 1 3 1 3 1 and 3 and 1 3 1 and 3 and 1 3 1 3 and 1 3 1 fermata. And we have no new notes. These are all notes that we've had before, starting with D, G, B, G, B. Here we go, counting it and saying the letter names. Ready? So rhythm and note name. Ready? D, G, B, G, B, A, G, E, D, D, G, B, G, B, A, D, B, D, B, D, B, G, D, E, G, G, E, D, D, G, B, G, B, A, G. And fingers and notes and rhythms. Starting with D, G. So starting with thumb 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, D. And going to G. Ready, go. D, G, B, G, B, A, G, E, D, D, G, B, G, B, A, D, B, D, B, D, B, G, D, E, G, G, E, D, D, E, G, B, G, B, A, G. The hardest part is right here on the D, B, D, B, G, because it's D, B, D, B, D, B, D, B. It's a weird switch. Try to keep your fingers close to the holes so they're not having to move so far. If you're going like this, D, B, D, B, you're going to be like all sorts of having troubles. So I would practice that measure on its own a couple times. Should be like. Playing the whole thing. Notes, rhythms, fingers, and air. Ready?